of mud. And 2 more guesses.
Keep them cool.
Keep it cool? Yeah, it's a very, very good way that they can cool off. And sunscreen, yep, great. Did you read it somewhere?
I saw your days in yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Came to
sunscreen
the
is
zoo.
also a great thing that mud helps with them. So if you do look at the end of their trunk, it kind of looks like if you were to stick your hand in a puppet, it kind of looks like that. That's basically what they use as their fingers. So they can pick up as small as a grain of rice or a blade of grass, or they can actually wrap their trunk around about a ton-pound log and move that log very easily. So you'll see logs and stuff scattered about. We have huge boomer balls that are hundreds of pounds that they can just very easily just move like it's nothing to them. So it's pretty impressive. It's about 100,000 muscle fibers that are bound really tightly together, which makes that really long shape, and that makes it so strong. So they do use their trunks for everything. They eat, they drink with it. If you're paying attention, they'll stick their trunk in here, and then if you were watching what Moki was doing over there, she was opening her mouth and sticking your trunk into her mouth. That's because she actually sucked up water into her nose and then squirted it right into their mouth. So it's a great way that they drink. It can hold about 6 gallons of water. If you notice, their heads are very broad. There's actually a cavity in between their eyes that 6 gallons of water can go up and be sitting in that cavity. So it's a great way that they can hold a lot of water. If they ever need to go distances with that water, they can just carry it in that cavity, and it's really not a problem for them. Let's see. If you watch them, you'll see them flapping their ears back and forth. They do this constantly throughout the day. What they're doing is pumping cool blood through their bodies. If you check out the back of their ears, it's kind of hard to see when they're far away. But if you look closely at the back of their ears, there's really large blood veins that run all along the back of their ears. So when they flap the ears back and forth like that, it gets their blood pumping and it actually cools their bodies off. So it's a great way that they cool down when it's really hot. They can get in the pool if they would like. It slopes down pretty gradually, and it's about 8.5 feet deep, so they can walk in and walk out whenever they feel necessary. They can't get out. A lot of people kind of wonder just because it is flush with the ground right here. Elephants don't, they lack the upper body strength that they'd actually be able to put their legs up here and then pull themselves out. So it serves as a natural barrier for the elephants that they wouldn't be able to get out. It's really cool when they do go in there. They'll actually lay down completely flat on the bottom of the pool, and you won't even be able to see them, and then a lot of times they'll just like burst out from the water. It's really neat when they do that. A lot of times when it's really nasty outside and it's thunder, lightning, and pouring, that's when they'll get in the pool. We also can get them in the pool with treats, like fruits and vegetables. Sometimes they'll go in. If we ever get watermelons and we throw a watermelon in there, they will automatically go in that pool because watermelon is one of their favorite treats. It kind of gives you a good contrast in size. They can actually stick that whole entire watermelon, pick it up with their trunk, and then put the whole entire thing in their mouths. So that kind of shows you how large a watermelon is, that they can just very easily put that in their mouth and just eat the whole entire thing. And that's Sheena right there. You notice Sheena, compared to the other 2 females, Sheena does not have any tusks. That's the one thing that she lacks. We don't really know why she wasn't born with any tusks, without any tusks. It's just she did not possess that gene to form that tusk. Tusks are made out of ivory, which is one of the main reasons why elephant tusks are fur and still kind of are poached in the wild. Take that ivory tusk out and make things like piano keys. They make a lot of trinkets. And now, poaching was banned in 1989, but unfortunately it still kind of gets through the wires and everything, and it still is happening. So make sure when you're buying stuff, look and see actually, is it ivory, is it fake ivory? And just it's very helpful for people to know what not to buy and things to buy. Any guesses how much an elephant might eat in a day? Any rough estimates?
40 pounds.
40 pounds? Definitely not. A lot more than 40 pounds. Yes, sir. 600? A little less than that. One more guess? Yes, sir. 50? Not quite. It's actually about 250 pounds. And that's per elephant per day. So they'll eat about 250 pounds of hay, which equates roughly to about 5 bales of hay. And then on top of that, they'll also get about 10 pounds of a specialized elephant grain. This grain is pellet form. It's got citrus in it. It's got some fruits and vegetables. It's got some tree leaves in it that are compressed down to a little pellet form. And it has a lot of vitamins and minerals that are really good for the elephant. all kinds of fruits and vegetables in from produce companies. And we also have a contract with Publix that Publix will donate a lot of bread to us. And they love that bread. They get raisin bread, cinnamon bread, and all the really good stuff that Publix gives to us. On top of that, they'll also get tree limbs and actually whole tree trunks once in a while that we'll get, and they really, really like that stuff. One thing that we do with them, we'll put on exhibit what's known as enrichment. It's anything that will stimulate the elephant's mind. So we'll put spices, we'll put dressings, we'll put different kind of bread and kind of hide it places. I don't know if you have it still out there, but we did have a keg there the other day. It was a large tin keg, and we have holes in it, and we'll put treats and stuff in those holes and then hang it up several feet high. Then the elephant will actually have to put their trunk up and hit the keg back and forth to get those treats out, and that's a really fun thing for them to keep their minds stimulated, and it's something different every day that we do for them to have them come out here and notice something different. My favorite part about the elephants probably is that they are trained. I'm sure you've heard the saying, elephants never forget. This is very, very true. Depending on which elephant we're dealing with, they know roughly 40 to 50 different behaviors. And they go through about a 45-minute training session every day. These behaviors come in a lot of handy if we ever need to do any medical procedures and just to check up on the elephants every day just to make sure there's nothing going on with them. So for instance, one of the medical procedures that we do weekly, we will actually get blood draws from them just to make sure that everything's going okay and nothing shows up. So the command for that would be ear, and when we say, for instance, evoking ear, she'll actually hold her ear out just like that, and we'll say steady, which means she knows she's supposed to continue holding her ear out like that. So then we can get access to those big veins in the back of her ears, so then that's where we get the blood because it's the easiest to get back there. And then we'll say, all right, and she knows all right means to put her ear back. She's done with the command, she's done well. And then we'll give her treats to reinforce that behavior. Another behavior that we'll do is pad. It's the bottom of their foot. I don't know if you can it's kind of hard to see because their feet are really dirty. They actually do have toenails. They have 5 toenails on each foot. And that is actually on the bottom of their foot. It's called keratin, just like our fingernails, so it is the same substance as their fingernails, just a lot thicker. So we'll say pad, and they'll actually lift up the foot that we asked them to and hold it on a ledge about this high and rest it there so we can check the bottom of their feet, make sure there's no rocks or sticks or anything that might be hidden there that they might have stepped on and might have got lodged in there. So we just make sure there's nothing on the bottom of their feet. We will trim their toenails probably about twice a month or so just so they don't get really long, and it really keeps them healthy when we keep them trimmed like that. We'll tell them to stretch out. That's probably one of my favorite behaviors that they know. When we say stretch, they'll actually lay on their bellies on the ground, and that way we can check their backsides, make sure there's nothing going on back there, and we'll actually hose them off and we'll scrub them down with a really nice elephant soap that they really enjoy being scrubbed down. Which doesn't do much because they come out here and within 5 minutes they're covered in mud again, so it's kind of funny. We'll check their ears, we'll check their tusks, we'll check their mouths, we'll check every part of the elephant, and each part of that elephant has a special command that we'll tell them to do, and then they know what to do when we tell them, and when we ask them to do the command. So it's really neat to see one of those training sessions, just to see how smart the elephants actually are. So it's pretty incredible. Anybody have any questions?